Hello and welcome, sports fans, to this live streaming event from Table Rock Sports Productions in partnership with our local school districts and brought to you by our sponsors who make these live presentations possible. I'm Jim McCoy. I'll be joined by Becca Miracle on the camera here shortly. We're coming to you live from Mel Anhorn Field in Central Point. And we welcome you to the Abby's Pizza pregame show as we get ready for this matchup between the defending state champion Thurston Colts against a team right on their heels in the Midwestern League, the Crater Comets, who have quite a history of their own in their baseball program. Looking forward to a great matchup today. We welcome our home and visiting fans watching today, and we are glad to have you along for our live sports coverage, and that's on TableRockSports.net. Joe Brett is our executive producer. Our sponsors keep these events free for fans to enjoy. Please let them know you appreciate their support. Please help keep Table Rock Sports going strong by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and thank you to the over 4,000 fans who have done so already. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're just moments away from the opener of a double dip or broadcasting game one, and we'll have that coming your way. We'll take a look at today's matchup right after these messages.
One of the things I like most about working at the Ashland Food Co-op is that it's a partner with RVTD's Employer Pass program. It makes it super easy for me to get to work and save a ton of money. I play a lot of musical instruments. I bought my own tuba when I started working at the co-op. Sometimes I'll bring it into work to play for my coworkers and the customers. When I bring my tuba onto the bus with me, it definitely gets a lot of heads turned and people will ask me, "What's that thing? Why is it so big?" RVTD is moving our community forward.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Jump online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
At Rogue Credit Union, we don't answer to shareholders. Instead, we return earnings back to our members. We know that we're stronger when we work together, and that's why we're invested here, living, giving, and supporting local. We're your friends and your neighbors. We know the needs of our communities. Being a part of Rogue means that our focus is on our members, and when you prosper, we prosper. See the credit union difference and how being a part of something smaller can have a bigger impact.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Welcome back to Anhorn Field, getting ready for the start of today's ball game and taking a look at the starting lineup. First for the visiting Thurston Colts, leading off and pitching will be Kyle Miller. He'll be followed in the lineup by Brock Johnson, the shortstop. Hitting third and playing third base will be Grady Saunders. Cleanup man is the first baseman Connor Maloney. Hitting fifth and playing second base will be David McDonald. Noah Blair will patrol left field and bat sixth. Hitting seventh will be the catcher, Braden Corrigan. And the number 8 hitter playing center field will be Bryson Bauer. And then hitting ninth and playing right field will be Carson Wolf. Defensively for the Comets, they'll look like this. Going around the infield, it is Zach Harrington at first base. Over at second, Morgan Austin. The third baseman is Mason Snopel, and the shortstop is Caleb Cornett. The outfield from left to right, Andy Sweet, Kason Orr and Michael Villarreal. The catcher is Gage Ayers, and the starting pitcher today is right-hander Tanner Keith. First game of a doubleheader between the Colts and the Comets. Game 5 scheduled to start at 5 p.m. Ashland in action today. The Grizzlies taking on North Eugene. Glad you could be here with us. Looking forward to bringing you this action as we've got a couple of top teams, a couple of strong programs with state championships in their history. First pitch ends up nailing the leadoff hitter in the back. So Miller gets aboard. And that'll bring up Brock Johnson. First pitch goes for a ball as the shortstop for Thurston gets ahead. He'll go ahead and hit to third. Throw down to first is in time. Runner's going to come around, go to third. Ball's thrown away, and coming across to score will be Miller, helping out his cause. So they got the clean out down at first, but in the attempt to, and of course Miller put the pressure on there by going around second, running with a purpose, and as they tried to throw him out at third, ball thrown away. Ball hit in the air, fouled away. Count 1-1 to Grady Saunders. Talking a little bit with Coach Minium before the game, I've had the opportunity, as that one's fouled off, to run the count to 2-2. That had the opportunity to watch the Colts in their previous two state championship games. And so I've become somewhat familiar with the Colts just through that as the count runs full. And one of the things I'll always remember Saunders for, is that one's fouled off, Saunders keeps alive, is that he ended up hitting an inside the park walk-off to seal the championship for his team. And he'll hit a long line drive out to right center field, and you can kiss that one goodbye. Grady Saunders makes it a 2-0 ball game. It had the power, it had the carry. That ball has a new home. The solo bomb by Saunders makes it a 2-0 ball game. Keith starts out Maloney with the strike. Now make that 0-2. 1-2 count. Count now even up at 2-2. Make that a full count now at 3-2. One of the things, Maloney hits the ball in the air. Out to center field. Making a nice run for the ball, taking a good route to it. And hauling it in is Kason Orr. And there's 2 gone. Two and 0 the count to the second baseman, David McDonald. He's practicing patience at the plate, and that's paying off. And he'll stroll down to first on 4 pitches. So runner aboard with 2 gone. Little conversation going on out at the mound. Give me an opportunity to remind you that you're invited to check out the new sports voice in Southern Oregon, the Ace Sports Radio, AM 1300, FM 107.9, and streaming live at the acesportsradio.com. Listen for live NCAA men's and women's March Madness games. We've got those. You'll have all kinds of football action, 5 broadcasts a weekend, and just the full range of things. Yeah, earlier today, I know up on Tee Up Southern Oregon, Joe had his guest, the softball coach for Eagle Point, John White. Noah Blair, left fielder. Count even at 1. Runner on first with 2 gone. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that will retire the side, but not before Thurston takes a 2-0 lead. We will pause for messages, and we'll be back with the home half of the first in 60 seconds.
Diverse venues, we got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like, too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
To the bottom of the first we go. Batting order for the Crater Comets. Mason Snopel will lead off. playing third base. Caleb Cornett to follow him in the lineup. DH Alex Johnson hits third. In the cleanup spot, first baseman Zach Harrington. The number 5 hitter is the left fielder Andy Sweet. Morgan Austin, the second baseman, will hit sixth. In the 7th spot is the catcher Gage Ayers. Michael Villarreal will play right field and bat 8th. And Kason Orr, the center fielder, who made a brilliant running catch in the first, will hit 9th. Taking the hill for the Colts will be Kyle Miller. Miller with a little bit of wind in his sails. He scored the first run of the game. Got on a, he was hit by a pitch. Then on an ensuing ground out, he made a run around second on to third. They tried to make the play there. Ball was thrown away, and he came in to score. But Crater, they can swing a mean stick. 2-0 lead. They can make some things happen. Snopel, look at the first pitch as he gets ahead 1-0. Gets a piece of that there to even up the count. Thurston in first in league play and are coming off a Tuesday win at home against the Comets. Ball hit in the air by Snopel out to medium right field. And there to make the play on it is Carson Wolf, and there's one gone. Caleb Cornett, the hitter, playing shortstop today. Wearing number 11. Fouls that one away. Run the count to 2-1. Cornett, the hitter, with Johnson on deck. Ball pounded on the ground, but that'll be just wide of first base. Count even at 2-2. One gone. And that is lined out to center field. Tracking it. Making the catch for Thurston. Bowser there on the play. And there's two away. That brings up the lefty hitting Alex Johnson. So, two hitters for the Comets, both retired on a pair of fly balls. Miller head here, 1-2. Contact by Johnson. Fouled over in the direction of the Comet dugout. Remains 1-2. Johnson just gets a piece of it. Back to the screen it goes. Ground ball hit down to first base. Flip from Maloney to Miller. And that will retire the side. So for the Comets, no runs, no hits, and no Thurston errors. We'll be back with the top of the second right after these messages.
It's game time. And there's only one thing that makes it all possible. Refs.
We're looking for people like you.
Former athletes.
Parents.
Community members.
Anyone who can manage the game and stick with it.
But we need more heroes and stripes. People like you.
Join the team and keep sports alive.
Play ball.
Because no ref, no game.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Visitors up now for the second inning. It'll be Corrigan followed by Bowser and Wolf. Keith. Offers up the pitch. A ball is the call as the count goes 1-0. Keith surrendered 2 runs in the first, but one of them was unearned as Miller came around, thanks in part to a throwing error. Then Saunders promptly followed that up with a solo shot to right center field. Swing and a miss. And for Keith, that is his second strikeout of the day, second consecutive strikeout, as Bowser will go to work. Keith throwing tablets now. And he strikes out his third consecutive call. Looks like he's got it sighted in now. Two gone. Here's Carson Wolf. One and one the count. Two gone. Ball popped up. Out of play it goes. One and two the count now. Wolf, patience at the plate. Even up at 2-2, but there, Keith strikes out the side. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the bottom of the second, and we'll have that for you coming right up.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This has been my profession for 30 plus years now. I really love my work. We try to source as many ingredients as we can, as local as possible, like local fruits and vegetables. We have a menu like you would find in any nice restaurant. We don't make it until you order it, so everything will be coming out fresh. We do have wonderful desserts here as well. Every day you have 5 or 6 options as far as a fresh dessert go. People are bringing their friends and family and wanting to show off what we have here to offer.
Come take a tour of Twin Creeks and meet our award-winning.
Bottom of the second, due up will be Harrington, Sweet, and Austin, 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the Comet lineup. Thanks in part to a solo shot by Grady Saunders. Thurston leads 2-0. Comets looking to avenge a loss to the Colts on Tuesday. Comets, second place in the league, chasing the Colts. Miller comes to the plate. Promptly gets ahead, 0-1. Harrington, right-handed hitter. Miller ahead of him. Fouled off. Harrington stays alive. 1-2 to the leadoff hitter here in the second inning. Harrington will look it in as the count goes even at 2-2. And now he'll hit a ground ball, gets by the shortstop. Johnson tried to make a play on it, couldn't quite get there in time. So the Comets now with their first base runner of the game. Sweet gets ahead. Sweet gets ahead 1-0. There's a strike to even things up at 1-1. Ball hit foul. Ball hit foul. That'll put the count at 1-2. Harrington, the runner at first. Showing bunt. Lays it down, come back. Are going to try for the play at second. They're successful on to first. And the pitcher's best friend, the double play. Well executed there. So there's 2 gone. It was not a bad bunt at all. It just reacted too well by the defense and just simply good defensive execution. So 2 gone. And here's Austin, the second baseman. And he'll hit one solid right up the middle, base hit. You can hear the Thurston bench. They're thankful that they got that double play ball earlier, or that had RBI written all over it. Second hit of the ball game for the Comets. And that'll bring up Ayers, the catcher. Ayers looks at a ball. Runner on first with 2 gone. Pitch low. Crater trying to work on an answer here in the bottom of the second. Ground ball finds the seam. Ayers down to first with the base hit. That'll move Austin into scoring position. So he has runners at first and second with 2 gone, and Villarreal, the right fielder, to the plate. Last game I saw over a week ago, I did camera for Terry Ross while he was out here, and Villarreal used as a courtesy and pinch runner in that game. Swing and a miss. Michael took a big cut at that one. Got his money's worth on that swing. 0-1 the count. Villarreal gets a piece of it. Advantage Miller at 0-2. Miller comes to the plate, swing and a miss. So, timely plays, a timely double play, and a timely strikeout thwart the Crater cause. So, no runs, 2 hits, no Colt errors. We'll go to the top of the third, and we'll have that for you right after these messages.
For over 50 years, each day has started with a smile, a helping hand, and a promise to be there when you need us most. Delivering on that promise are our hard-working, dedicated employees. At Sherms, we're proud to be an essential part of our community and look forward to keeping our selection, quality, and value where our customers deserve for many years to come. Sherms Food for Less and Thunderbird Market.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Top of the third, and we go to the top of the order for the Colts. We'll see Miller, Johnson, and Saunders. Miller hit by a pitch in the first and came around and scored. Keith's opposite. Gets ahead 2-0. Ball hits solid out to right field. That falls in for the base hit. And Miller makes a turn, heads back to the bag. Leadoff man aboard. And here is Johnson. Johnson grounded out in the first. Throw over to first. Keith looks over at first. Comes to the plate. And hits that underneath the glove of the third baseman, Snopel. And now we have runners at second and third for Grady Saunders. So Johnson motors into second, in at third. And that was just the type of deal where the great Wee Willie Killer would say the secret to hitting is to hit them where they ain't. At one point in time, he had the longest hitting streak in the National League at 44 games, and that was the secret to his success. Meanwhile, Saunders, well, he certainly hit him where nobody was with a home run, and now here he's going to drop this in. A run will score. And 2 runs will score. Saunders once again. Big contact there. Now it's a 4-0 ball game. Connor Maloney flew out to center his first time up. Maloney ahead in the count, 2-0, nobody out. Saunders, the runner at second. Now pitcher and catcher are going to talk it over. Spring Sports Action is brought to you by our title sponsor, Lithia Jeep Dodge Chrysler, where you can find great deals on the lot or at lithiasuperstore.com, and by Rogue Credit Union, with locations throughout Southern Oregon to serve you. Your update, the John L. Scott scored for you. Count 3-1. Maloney earns a walk. So with nobody down in the third, the Colts have runners at first and second. And now Jay Campbell emerges from the dugout. Brain Trust meeting out there, and we'll see if he elects to stick with Keith. I know, at least in terms of available pitchers, Snowball won't be available till Sunday, so he's not in the mix. But you know, with a doubleheader here today, probably like to try to get as much mileage out of Keith as he's willing to go. David McDonald. Runner takes off for third. Throw wide. So kind of a little double steal action there. So now runners at second and third. Pitch, bouncing ball, hit the short. That'll find a way through. One run comes home. A second run comes home. And the hits keep coming for the Thurston Colts. Two-one count. Ball hit high in the air. Rainmaker comes down. And there's one gone. Here's Corrigan, the hitter. Colts catcher. 1-1 the count. One gone in the inning.
Enjoy Abby's Pizza at your place. Close your eyes and you can taste old-fashioned values, classic pizza parlor decor, and generations of tradition. Recreate that magic. Open your eyes and head to abbys.com. With pickup and delivery options, no matter where you dine, Abby's just tastes better.
When you work with Hart Insurance Agency, you'll experience the quality service and attention to detail that you'll only find with an independent insurance agency. Hart Insurance Agency was founded in 1947 and is one of the largest independent, locally owned agencies in Southern Oregon, with offices in Grants Pass and Medford. Their experienced team of agents have the knowledge to design, place, and to manage your personal and business insurance plans. Find out more. Visit hartinsurance.com.
This is Skinny, and he helped found Abby's 60 years ago. In honor of Skinny, we're putting his favorite pizza on sale. Savory pizza sauce, Canadian bacon piled to the edge, and juicy tomatoes make this a very special pizza. Order your Skinny special right now at
1-0 the count. Miller the runner on first. Attempt at a bunt there by Miller. Count now at 1-1. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Top of the fourth. Colts on top, 6-0. Seen a lot of hitting actually by both teams in this game, but kind of the highlight of the game, solo homer by Saunders in the first. Swing and a miss. That'll run the count to 1-2. Pitch in the dirt, runners go. So now 2 runners in scoring position. 2-2 count to the Colts starting pitcher. Miller himself has scored a pair of runs in this game. Pitch low, and they'll run the count to 3-2. Out of the stretch, swing and a miss. Big strikeout there for Keith. So obviously with that, the runners will stay put. Opportunity here for Johnson. Johnson doubled his last time up and scored, and he puts one right into center field. Base hit. 1 run will come home. 2 runs will come home. And it's an 8-0 ball game. Here's Grady Saunders, homered in the first. And singled in the second, so he has a pair of hits and a pair of RBIs. And he's ahead here, 1-0. The pitch. Breaking ball, over. 1-1 the count. Runner goes, throw down to second base. He beats it, so runner in scoring position. 1-2 the count, with 1 down. Now, we're just scheduled today to do the first game of this, but wanted to let you folks here locally know to Central Point that there will be a second game following this. Part of a Midwestern League doubleheader. Pitch misses for a ball as the count goes 2-2. First and second place teams doing battle here on a beautiful day here in Central Point. Bouncing ball down to short, deep in the hole, throw across. Good effort, but it won't be in time. So Saunders, 3/4 of his way to perhaps hitting for the cycle today. Of course, I think the toughest one, he's got the power to hit home runs, and he's already done that. The hitting the triple part I think often for hitters having a day like he has, that's the trickiest one to get. Runners go. Throw down to third, gets away. So we got a runner coming home. Brock Johnson. Makes it a 9-0 ball game. Connor Maloney walked his last time up. Hits that one over our heads. Off-speed pitch. Low and away, 2-1. Just gets a piece of it. Foul for a 2-2 count. David McDonald on deck. Just wide of first base. That'll keep Maloney alive. Two-two pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And there's two gone. For Keith, unofficially, we've got him at 5 strikeouts on the day. Here's David McDonald. Ball hit up the middle, spin, throw to first. In time, and that will end the Thurston threat, but not before they put 3 more on the board to make it a 9-0 ball game. As you can see on your John L. Scott scoreboard, we'll take a 1-minute timeout and be back here on TableRockSports.net.
With expert advice and an amazing selection of flooring, it's easy to see yourself enjoying your perfect floors.
Whoa.
That, my friend, was the One Effect.
Can she go?
Experience the One Effect at the Power of Savings Floor event for up to 50% off or 0 interest for 18 months. Only at Lippert's Carpet One, Medford and Grants Pass.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Jump online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Back here at Mel Anhorn Field, Thurston leading 9-0. Due up, we have Andy Sweet, followed by Morgan Austin and Gage Ayers. Kyle Miller continuing to work on the mound. Today's starting pitcher. You know how they talk in football about bending but not breaking defensively, and I would say that's been kind of the situation for Miller. He's gotten big strikeouts and double play balls when he's needed them. So there have been a couple of Crater threats, but they have not had the success to parlay those into runs. Bouncing ball hit straight up the middle. Sweet aboard for the base hit. Leadoff man on. And here's Austin. Austin singled his first time up. One on, nobody out. Opportunity here, perhaps, for the Comets. Bouncing ball hit down to third. Throw down to second. They get the lead runner, and nothing more. But hey, one's better than none, and getting the lead runner, you want that. So it ends up being a fielder's choice for Austin. And that'll bring up Gage Ayers. Runner at first. One gone. Here comes the pitch. Count 1-0. Pitch on the way. Miller gets it sighted in. And he's ahead and he evens it up, I should say, at 1-1. Runner taking a fairly conservative lead. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hit foul. Well, the count stays 1-2. Swing and a miss. Miller sends Ayers back to the Comet bench. Strictly unofficial here, but that is 2 strikeouts now for Miller. Villarreal, the hitter. Off-speed pitch. Villarreal getting ahead here, 1-0. There's the equalizer from Miller to make it 1-1. One might be tempted to think Crater coming in with an 8-7 record overall, but just 2 losses in league. But one has to keep in mind a lot of those losses came in spring break action and tournaments out of state, where you get some really tough competition that'll battle test you and make you better for down the road. Miller just misses as the count goes full at 3-2. Runner on first with 2 gone. Here comes Miller. And Villarreal aboard. So now the Comets have a runner in scoring position. And here's Orr. They'll bring a runner on at second. Haven't got a real good look at that uniform number yet, but there's a substitute on, or the hitter. Throw back to second. Just a little courtesy call. Keep him in check. Miller looks to second, out of the stretch. Swing and a miss. Or reaches into the grab bag, and now Miller is ahead 0-1. One and one the count. There's a strike, and then the throw over to first gets away, and lead runner down to third. I'm double checking here, but that looks like the runner there is Carter Furman. 1-2, 2 gone. Scoring opportunity now. Miller comes to the plate. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout there to keep the Comets off the board. We'll go to the top of the fifth. Colts lead 9-0. We'll be back in 60 seconds. And then, well, go to the top of the fifth. Tanner Keith setting to go to work. We've got Noah Blair, Braden Corrigan, and Bryson Bowser due up. Line drive, snared by Snopel, and there's one gone. Well, he got big contact, but it was right at somebody. So there's one gone. Corrigan struck out in his first at-bat. Solid line drive, smoked to deep left field. There to make the play is Sweet, and there's two gone. Bryson Bowser to the plate. There's a strike to even things up at 1-1. Fouled behind us. Count goes 1-2. looks like we may have Carlin Crutcher coming into the game to hit. Should Bowser get aboard, but they deliver the K, and that will end the inning. It remains a 9-0 ball game, and we'll be back with the bottom of the fifth in 1 minute here on TableRockSports.net.
All right, let's go, guys. 15 minutes. Get your stuff.
Bye, Mom.
Have a good day, guys. I don't know what happened.
Just next time, go a little slower and figure it out.
Okay, I get it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the line.
Life is busy. Juggling everything can be overwhelming. We've all been there. So consumed with our own lives that we sometimes forget about what someone else might be going through.
Difficulty. Get back to action here. Full count. As we find ourselves here in the top of the fifth. The ball hit in the air to right field, and that gets away from the right fielder Villarreal. Runner comes around third, and he'll stay. So now we've got runners at second and third with one gone. Bunt play. Fouled off. Grady Saunders, the hitter, on the 0-1 count. Lays down the bunt. So even the power hitters get a chance to play a little bit of small ball here and there. Ground ball. First baseman has a little bit of trouble with it. But a run comes home to make it a 10-0 ball game. After the play, we got runners at first and third, one out. A 10-0 ball game. This is an opening game of a doubleheader between the two teams here on this Friday afternoon. With a little bit of concern about the weather for tomorrow, they went ahead and moved it to today, and here we are, and it's a beautiful day for a baseball game. Definitely in the mid-spring swing here as things begin to warm up. Connor Maloney. Opportunity here to add to the lead. And a sweet on in relief. Tanner Keith had started the ball game. Runners go. Coming home is Brock Johnson to make it 11-0. One and one to Maloney. Sweet misses on the pitch. Count goes 2-1. Looks like we got Luke Blair on deck. Bouncing ball down to short. Throw across the infield. Nice play there by Zach Harrington to reach up and grab the out, and there's 2 gone. Blair, sophomore. Our first look at him today. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Pitch in the dirt. One and 2 the count to Luke Blair. Ball hit in the air, foul. Off to our right. And it remains a 1-2 count. Yeah, things are definitely warming up. Our ball hit in the air, popped up. Making the play for Crater is Furman, and that will retire the side. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
Heart of the Rogue Valley, RVTD connects us all, not just through miles traveled, but also through time. Today, RVTD moves with the pulse of the Rogue Valley. More than just a bus ride, it's a lifeline for workers, students, and families, ensuring access for all to jobs, schools, and essential services. Rogue Valley Transportation District, celebrating 50 years of moving our community forward.
But this is a case where you got a good team up against a really good team. Thurston to the bottom of the 5th and continuing to work on the mound for the Colts is starting right-hander Kyle Miller. Here in Central Point, 74 degrees. Talk about rain coming in, but it's looking like now, if the current forecast holds up, that the rain we're going to get, it will come early in the morning. But you can imagine playing here on a grass surface. If it rains enough, it would have played havoc on any scheduled festivities for tomorrow. Sweet will lead off. Fouls off the first pitch. Started out the day in left field and has moved into pitch. Miller still bringing it with the same authority he pretty much has all game long. No signs of fatigue here. Although he follows behind Sweet 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. Leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 5th. Bouncing ball hit down to short. Johnson throws over to first. Maloney collects. And there's one gone. Furman, the hitter, came in as a substitution, and he'll foul that one back. 1-1 the count with one gone. Miller winds and fires. Furman ahead 2-1. Ground ball. That one's in the dirt. And we have a runner in scoring position now for the Comets. Love to try to take the edge off this game, but putting a run on the board, and Ayers will do what he can in that effort as he comes to the plate. Runner at second, one gone. Ayers waving that stick like he means business. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Out of the stretch, Miller. Ball hit in the air. Good contact there, and that one's going to bounce to the wall. So a run comes home. Furman gets the Comets on the board, courtesy of the long double by Gage Ayers. So it's an 11-1 ball game, and Villarreal comes to the plate. Left-handed hitting right fielder. Ayers will come out for a runner, and that's one of the nice things you got to like about having that courtesy runner for catchers and pitchers. That'll give him plenty of time to get his gear on if need be. I don't have a 45 on my OSAA roster. I'm going to guess that's a JV player being brought up to get some playing time. Right now, the count 1-0. 2-0 the count now. Villarreal, the hitter. Case and Orr on deck. One gone in the inning. Pitch. Over for a strike as the count goes 2-1. Foul tip. 2-2 the count. Thurston, the #1 team in the Oregon 5A, and we're seeing some of that on display here. Count full to Michael, who's drawn a walk today. Make that 2. So runners at first and second. One gone. Case and Orr, senior outfielder. Ducks on the pond, and he gets ahead here, 1-0. Count goes 2-0. Now, I do recall now that I've got the Crater Comet lineup card, courtesy of Coach Campbell. And 45, it turns out that's Gabe Presley. Gabe Presley wearing 45 today. He'd started out the season with number 26. And then, of course, now Sweet wearing 26. And also, we're taking a look at this. We see that Kaiser is actually wearing number 1 today and not Carter Furman. So, I guess apologies on my part to the the Kaiser family. And two-0 pitch, but now we got that sorted out. It is Presley down at second, Villarreal at first, or the hitter ahead in the count, 2-0. Off-speed pitch. Hitters count for Orr. Pitch on the way, and that'll load them up. To the top of the order we go with Mason Snopel. Table Rock Sports is able to bring you spring sports coverage thanks to our great sponsors, including our longtime friends from Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less, John L. Scott Real Estate, Scoreboard sponsors for Table Rock Sports. Snowball gets ahead, 1-0. Count level at 1-1. Bases loaded. So an opportunity to keep the Comet hopes alive. Ball hit in the air to left field. Running up on it. Play is made. Presley will tag. And he scores. So it makes it 11-2. So it looks like that has eliminated the possibility now of the mercy rule. And that'll bring to the plate Caleb Cornett. Comet shortstop. With runners at first and second, one down. Miller starts him out with a strike. Low to even it up at 1-1. Swing and a miss. Cornett tried to go to the well to get to that one. And now a line drive hit right up the middle, base hit. Runners will hold. So with one down, the bases are loaded once again. Here's Alex Johnson. And if I'm a Colt fan, this is probably a guy I really don't want to see. Johnson, a power threat for the Comets. Pitch down low as Johnson gets ahead. Miller finds the plate, evens up the count. Johnson being patient, and now he's ahead 2-1. Miller missing low, and that'll run the count to 3-1. And there is Smoke, a line drive that falls into left field. Base hit, 1 run will score. Villarreal literally comes limping home. Bases remain loaded. And that will bring Coach Minium from the dugout. This may be it for Miller. While they discuss that, I want to remind you that before or after the game is a great time to visit Dutch Bros and enjoy your favorite beverage. Dutch Bros gives back to the communities they serve in support of kids and local efforts to help others. Dutch Bros. Discussion going on here, and like I said, I'm going to take a guess that now again Saunders won't be available to see any relief duty today, but he's got some other guys he can go with. Part of what makes this team so tough is they got a lot of depth. So Miller will come off the hill. Looks like he's headed out in the direction of center field. And while the reliever takes his warm-ups, we're going to take a quick break. John L. Scott scoreboard, 11-3 Thurston. Crater doing some scoring with the possibility of more, and we'll have more for you coming up after this.
The things I like most about working at the Ashland Food Co-op is that it's a partner with RVTD's Employer Pass program. It makes it super easy for me to get to work and save a ton of money. I play a lot of musical instruments. I bought my own tuba when I started working at the co-op. Sometimes I'll bring it into work to play for like my coworkers and the customers. When I bring my tuba onto the bus with me, it definitely gets a lot of heads turned and people will ask me, what's that thing? Why is it so big? RVTD is moving our community forward.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Shop online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Well, looks like we got a little game of musical chairs going on here right now. Miller has come out, and as a pitcher anyway, and he takes over in the outfield. And Brock Johnson comes in to pitch. Saunders now over at shortstop. I don't trust my eyesight a whole lot, but I believe Blair has come in to play third. Ground ball there. And that will do it. The Comets put 3 on the board. But Thurston, we get ready here for the top of the 6th. And we'll be back with that right after these messages.
At Rogue Credit Union, we don't answer to shareholders. Instead, we return earnings back to our members. We know that we're stronger when we work together, and that's why we're invested here, living, giving, and supporting local. We're your friends and your neighbors. We know the needs of our communities. Being a part of Rogue means that our focus is on our members, and when you prosper, we prosper. See the credit union difference and how being a part of something smaller can have a bigger impact.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
To the top of the 6th, or make that the top of the 7th. The Colts, you can hear from their bench, wanting to retake momentum after Crater put 3 on the board. Ball hit in the air, reeling it in at second base, making the play there for the Comets is Kaiser. And we've got one down. Braden Corrigan hitting the ball. Got some depth on that, but Orr there to make the play in center field. 2 quick outs. For Andy Sweet. Jackson Lane, the hitter. There's a strike as the count goes 0-1. Off-speed pitch. Misses as the count goes 1-1. Ball hit in the air, off to our right. Count goes 1-2. Lane gets a piece of it, stays alive at 1-2. Carson Wolf, the on-deck hitter. Should Lane get aboard? Swing and a miss. Sweet gets the strikeout, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. 11-3 ball game. We'll be right back after this.
Diverse venues, we got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like, too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
We go to the bottom of the 7th and on in relief for the Thurston Colts. Number 13, Brody Corrigan. Corrigan, a freshman. So we have Brody Corrigan. Number 10, of course, is Braden Corrigan, starting catcher. Yeah, a little bit of a breeze here blowing, kind of taking a little bit of the edge off the heat. And part of our technical trouble we ran into here a little bit earlier is the heat and electronics get along about as well as water and electronics. Sweet will lead off. There have been steeper mountains to climb than an 8-run deficit. Sweet will see if he can't get something started here for Crater. First offering from Braden Corrigan misses. 1-0 the count. Got a strike now to even things up at 1-1. So now he's got that under his belt. Swing and a miss. Brody up 1-2. Bouncing ball, hit up the middle, base hit. So Sweet leads off the inning, getting aboard. And here's Kaiser. Corrigan gets that over for a strike as the count goes 0-1. Pitch even now at 1-2. Sweet got that look like he's thinking about going, but I would imagine with this deficit, you don't want to run yourself into an out. So I would say that's probably as much a part of gamesmanship than anything else. 3-1. Kaiser gets good contact on that, and he'll hit it into right field. Base hit. Station to station. Sweet goes. Ronix Kaiser gets aboard. Now we got runners at first and second. Nobody out. And here's Gage Ayers. Gage, Comet catcher. Brody Corrigan, gonna hear from Braden Corrigan as they have a little discussion on the mound. Braden, the senior catcher. Brody, the freshman pitcher. One-0 pitch on the way. Brody gets it over to even up the count at 1-1. The pitch. Floats it in. A ball is the call. 2-1. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th, so final opportunity for the Comets to try to pull out a win. 3-1.